This is my salute of what, in my opinion, is one of the most all-time underrated mangas and anime franchises of all time, and that is Guyver, which was created by Toshiaki Toshiaki Takaya Yoshiaki Takaya in 1985. Of course, for those of you who don't know, Guyver, of course, is a series about people who can transform into monsters, and the main plot is that this organization called Chronos are looking for the missing Guyver units. Guyver means out of control. Guyver means out of control. They're looking for the missing Guyver units. There are only three units, and the main character Sho accidentally finds one when one of the monsters, the Chronos soldiers, attacks his friends. He immediately bonds with the Guyver suit, and disposes of and destroys the monster. And pretty much the rest of the series pretty much focuses on Sho and his friends being targeted by the Chronos organization. Like I said, this series right here is awesome. All the awesome action, all the awesome bloody, gory action you can find, cool characters, and an awesome in-depth story. That's what you get in the manga. The anime adaptation, which I first saw in 2008. I started reading the manga and saw the 80s anime adaptation, which was dubbed by Manga Entertainment in 1989. I think it was brought here in the early 90s. I saw this dub, and despite being low budget, this was one of the greatest anime cartoons I've ever seen. Awesome animation, strong writing, and once again, all of the violence and gore from the manga left intact. I've just recently started watching the 2005 Guyver series, the remake, which so far this show is awesome. However, it lacks the gory violence of the manga and the original anime, but it's still a pretty damn entertaining anime. Of course, the live action movie. I saw the very first Guyver movie with Jack Armstrong and Mark Hamill from 1991. I first saw this in 2009, and I loved it. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. And then I just recently I've watched the sequel. I think 2 years ago. I watched the sequel 2 years ago. Guyver 2: Dark Hero. This film was even bigger and badder than the last one, and a lot of people consider this to be the best, one of the best live action. Consider this to be the better of the two, and in my opinion, this is one of the best live action adaptations of a comic book. This is one of the only live action films that actually respects its source material, something completely foreign today with today's comic book adaptations. But this right here was pretty fucking awesome. I would love for them to make another Guyver television series, because as awesome as the two animes are, neither one of them adapted the whole manga. I would love to see a series that adapts the whole manga from beginning to end. The manga ran for a long time. I'm talking 1985 till 2012. I think that's when the last chapter was released. 2012. And of course, the movies. Of course, there was supposed to be a Guyver 3, but Steve Wong, the guy who was directing the movies, the rights reverted back to Japan, so Japan has the licensings for any future Guyver movies, or what's his name? I would love to see a third Guyver movie that follows the first two, or have a reboot that's even closer to the manga and anime. The other two movies were close, but there was the characters in the film were very different from the characters. The characters' names in the film were very different from the characters in the manga and anime. The live action films, while being true to the manga, pretty much took the story from the anime and created it and adapted it with a bunch of new characters. I love to see the characters from the manga as they appear in the manga in a live action adaptation. So either a sequel to the first two Guyver movies or a brand new spanking reboot. You can make it really good with today's technology. You can have the fast-paced action, that the manga and anime had, if you were to make it today. Well, this was my salute of what, like I said, in my opinion, one of the all-time great Japanese franchises, and that was Guyver. Underrated too. All right, Doug out.